Officer Maria Lopez had patrolled the gritty streets of downtown Los Angeles for a decade, her uniform a symbol of order amidst the city's chaos. However, nothing in her experience prepared her for the chilling incident at the Hollywood Hills mansion. On a balmy night in July, a distress call came over the radio. A break-in reported at the mansion of a famous Hollywood director. The property was notorious for its high-tech security, making the break-in unusual. Officer Lopez, being the nearest to the scene, responded. The mansion stood imposingly on a secluded hill, surrounded by thick woods and high walls. Lopez drove up the winding driveway, her heart pounding with a mix of adrenaline and foreboding. As she stepped out of her cruiser, the mansion's grandeur cast long, eerie shadows in the moonlight. The front door was ajar, a sign of forced entry. Lopez unholstered her gun, stepped over the threshold, and entered the house. The mansion was eerily quiet. Expensive art adorned the walls, and luxurious furniture was strewn around in disarray. Nothing seemed missing, adding to the mystery. In the grand living room, she noticed a trail of wet footprints leading to a narrow hallway. The footprints were unusually large, and seemed to be made of an odd, slimy substance rather than water. The sight sent a chill down her spine, but she had a job to do. With her weapon at the ready, she followed the trail. The footprints led her down a dim corridor, towards a door half hidden in the shadows. As she approached, she felt the temperature drop significantly, a stark contrast to the warm summer night outside. She touched the door. It was freezing cold. Bracing herself, she pushed the door open and descended into the mansion's basement. The basement was a large open space filled with film memorabilia, a mini movie museum reflecting the director's successful career. But the thing that caught Lopez's attention was a strange antique mirror placed prominently in the room's center. Its silver surface gleamed under the faint light, seeming to swirl and shift as she looked at it. Surrounding the mirror, the slimy footprints circled like a predator stalking its prey. As she moved closer to the mirror, she heard a faint sound echoing from its direction, a chilling low hum, followed by a guttural whisper she couldn't quite make out. She reported the strange happenings to dispatch, requesting backup. While waiting, she took another look at the mirror. In the reflection, she saw something move behind her. She whirled around, her weapon poised, but found nothing. The room was as still as before, filled only with the echoes of silence. Suddenly, she felt an icy hand close around her arm. She whipped back around and, to her horror, saw a shadowy figure emerge from the mirror. It towered over her, its features obscured by a swirling darkness. It had the form of a man, but something was terribly wrong. It was as if it were made of the shadow itself, a humanoid blot of darkness. Its touch was like ice, freezing and numb. Its eyes, two glowing orbs of white, bored into her. Terrified, Lopez tried to pull away, but the figure's grip tightened. The whispers grew louder, a cacophony of voices speaking in a language she couldn't recognize. It felt as if the room was spinning, the voices growing louder until they filled her ears, her mind, her very being. She fired her gun at the figure, but the bullets passed through it as if it were made of smoke. Just as suddenly as it appeared, the figure released her and retreated into the mirror. The whispers faded, leaving a deafening silence in their wake. Panting and trembling, Lopez backed away from the mirror, her mind struggling to comprehend the otherworldly occurrence. Backup arrived minutes later, finding an ashen-faced Lopez in the basement. Despite a thorough search of the mansion and surrounding woods, they found no sign of an intruder. The only evidence was the mysterious slimy footprints which the forensic team couldn't identify. The director was informed, the mansion secured, but no further signs of the intruder ever surfaced. The case went cold, eventually buried under the weight of new cases and fading into obscurity. Yet, for Officer Lopez, it remained a chilling reminder of that nightmarish encounter, a mystery that never saw the light of day. Her encounter with the unknown forever changed her perspective of the world and the unseen horrors it might hold. The mirror, the whispers, and the shadowy figure became her regular nightmares, a dread-inducing memory of the night she ventured into the realm of the unexplainable. Despite the uneventful follow-up investigations and the skepticism of her colleagues, Lopez couldn't shake off the memory of the shadowy figure and the terror it incited. She requested a leave of absence, citing stress and mental exhaustion. Her superiors reluctantly agreed, urging her to seek professional help. During her leave, she visited the public library, immersing herself in books about paranormal phenomena and ancient lore, searching for anything that could explain her encounter. She came across legends of shadow people, ghostly apparitions said to lurk in mirrors, and folklore about creatures from other dimensions. It was all wildly fantastical, yet eerily similar to her experience. As the weeks turned into months, Lopez found herself consumed by the unsolved case. She couldn't shake off the feeling that she had overlooked something vital, and so she decided to return to the mansion, albeit unofficially. Armed with a flashlight and a determined spirit, Lopez stood in front of the mansion. Its grandeur, now familiar, felt foreboding under the moonlit sky. She entered the mansion and retraced her steps from that fateful night, eventually standing before the antique mirror in the basement. She stared at the mirror, half expecting the figure to appear. However, all she saw was her own reflection, her determined gaze meeting her eyes. After several minutes of silent anticipation, she sighed, a mix of relief and disappointment washing over her. As she turned to leave, she heard the faint hum again. She whipped around to see the mirror surface rippling, and from it, the shadowy figure emerged. It was as horrifying as she remembered, its icy gaze fixed on her. This time, Lopez was prepared. She steadied her breath, stood her ground, and directly addressed the figure, her voice echoing in the cold basement. She demanded to know what it wanted, why it was haunting the mansion, why it had targeted her. To her surprise, the figure paused. The white orbs that served as its eyes flickered, and for a moment, the tension in the room lessened. It moved closer, extending a frigid hand towards her. Before she could react, it placed its hand over her heart. An intense coldness seeped into her, and the voices returned. They were less chaotic this time, almost pleading. As quickly as it started, it ended. The figure retreated, disappearing back into the mirror. The whispers ceased, the room returning to silence. Confused and shaken, Lopez left the mansion. She could not explain what had transpired, yet she felt an inexplicable sense of closure. Upon returning to duty, she requested a transfer to the paranormal department. Her superiors were surprised, yet granted her request. The encounter at the mansion had changed her, steering her life in a direction she had never imagined. She now spends her days investigating the inexplicable, the chilling, and the supernatural. The memory of the shadowy figure and its haunting whispers remains with her, a constant reminder of the night she confronted the unknown. The incident at the Hollywood Hills mansion became a cornerstone of her career, a chilling tale among her peers and an enduring enigma in the annals of paranormal law enforcement. Officer Lopez's tale ends here, capturing a single surreal event that forever altered her path. Following the unnerving incident, she served with distinction in the department's paranormal division, her unique experience making her a critical asset in cases of unexplained phenomena. She never encountered the shadowy figure again, yet its memory served as a constant reminder of the inexplicable and eerie aspects of our world that often remain hidden, unnoticed, until they intrude upon our normalcy. The Hollywood Hills mansion remained uneventful after that incident, its once grand parties replaced by a quiet solitude. The mirror in the basement, the epicenter of the strange occurrences, was removed and kept under observation in the paranormal division's storage. No further paranormal activity was reported, but the mansion gained a reputation for the eerie incident. For Lopez, the mansion was a symbol of her journey into the inexplicable, a testament to the night she came face to face with an entity beyond our understanding. The tale serves as a chilling reminder to us all of the brave officers like Maria Lopez who dare to venture into the unknown, confronting the unimaginable for the safety of the public. Even when faced with the inexplicable, they stand their ground, placing duty above their fears, a testament to their unwavering dedication.